Okay, we're going live now. I'm just waiting on a notification. Mhm. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have an incredible guest with us tonight, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than the amazing puppeteer known as Landon. First of all, how are you doing, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. The first question. First of all, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. The
Of
first question
course.
that we have for you is, how did you get into this field?
Oh my gosh. I was an introvert as a kid. I saw a ventriloquist come perform at my school when I was 6 years old, and I was captivated by the magic and the puppets. And I got a puppet later after I saw him perform, and it's just been that ever since.
Okay, great. And are there any influences that were on TV that you watched that inspired you?
Yeah, I saw the ventriloquist that performed at my school, and so immediately after that, I started looking at other ventriloquists. Of course, Jeff Dunham, Terry Fader, later on David Strassman, Sammy King. The list goes on and on. Kevin Johnson, Todd Oliver.
Okay, great. Now, is this something for people who are at home who want to do this? Is this something that can be learned? Like how do you, or you have to go to school for? Like what's the process?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I got a lot of questions saying, "Did you go to school for this?" I didn't. I have no formal ventriloquial education. I've watched probably every ventriloquist there is that's out there on YouTube or online or DVDs, and I studied them and what they do. And ventriloquism is so difficult because it's not just puppetry. It's puppetry. It's the actual act of talking without moving your lips. It's creating character. It's if you're a good ventriloquist, you're usually a comedian to some degree, so you have to be funny. And you're creating that scene on stage for the first time every time you perform it. So there's a lot that goes into it. And I would say that repetition, studying past ventriloquists is important, and then just getting on stage and figuring out how what you're going to perform and how you're going to do it is the best advice I can give.
Wonderful. Okay, great. And thank everyone who's continued to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. How can we support you and view view you? Are you online? Do you have your own website, Instagram? Where do we go?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere online at Landon Venting.
Oh, okay, great. Wonderful. And um, man, we're just inspired that you would take time to come and tell us about your journey in this. Now, how do you develop your characters?
It's such a difficult question to answer because each character comes from a different inspiration. Sometimes I found voices that I could do that I then will create a character around that voice that fits it. Sometimes I'll think of an idea for a puppet and then I'll just build the puppet and then I'll create the voice and the character later on, the personality later on after I've built the puppet. Sometimes I'm inspired by people I know, my grandparents or relatives or people I see on the street even, and I'll take out my notebook and I'll make little sketches and I'll save it for later for characters. So I allow inspiration to flow just as I live life, and I kind of take it from everywhere.
That's amazing. Okay, wonderful. One more
Yeah,
question before we get to meet your creations. What advice would you give to people on the
sure.
importance of imagination?
Oh my gosh. You know what? There's so many ways you can go with this. I think it's important to know that as you grow, your imagination grows. And in what I do, I'm a ventriloquist, and I create so many jokes and pieces of content, and then puppets that I just have learned to just put everything out there. And if it hits, it hits. And the problem with imagination in today's society is usually it's used to some degree, whether you're a YouTuber or you're on TikTok or whatever. So you become where your imagination is something so personal to you, and then you share it on a grander scale. And my biggest advice to those of you that are wanting to do this to some degree, however you can apply it to what you're doing, is understand that you're going to grow through it all, and that not everything you make will be perfect, and that as long as you are growing and learning throughout the process, let your imagination flow and run with it.
Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, great. And thank you very much. And thank everyone who continues to show love. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Can we meet the people? Can we meet your people? Your characters.
Yeah, so I've got my main guy Jackie. He has been on my show for a couple of years now. This is a puppet I created through TikTok. I introduced him to my audience on there, and he's kind of evolved from there. He's kind of like a kid, and then he's annoying, and he asks a billion questions. So I thought it'd be fun to bring him on here. Come here, Jackie. What? Come here. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Okay, sit back. Sorry. All right. Where are we? We're on this podcast. Okay, that's Joshua. You know him? No, I know him because his name's in the corner. Well, yes. I love this. This is great. Yes. Yes. This is exciting. Yeah. Are we the first ventriloquist you've had on here?
Absolutely,
Sure.
you are.
Hopefully. Oh, good. And you're not going to have one on after this, huh? Well, you don't know that. We'll see. Right. Yes. Great.
Okay. Now, what do you do for fun?
Oh, I like to learn stuff. No, I like to set it on fire. That's not. No, I come on. What do you do in your pastimes? Graffiti? No, like stuff that's legal. Legal graffiti. Yeah, okay. I'm a business. Really? No. Okay. You enjoy a lot of stuff. I like to run around with Bill. Bill's the zombie. He's another character that I have.
Okay.
And we do TikTok lives. We do a lot of live streams, yeah, for hours on end, right? Yes. And we run around all over Texas, because that's where we're based, and we film videos, yes, all over. Sometimes they're interactive, right? You're in your face, right? Or sometimes it's with other people, sure. And sometimes it's just you and me, you and I, right? Yes. And yeah, so Landon's never actually ever truly alone. That's correct. Right.
Well, what can people? Will we ever get to meet you in person?
Oh, that's a good. We do private shows and sometimes public shows all around Dallas. Sometimes we're at a comedy club. Sometimes we do like a quinceañera or some 1-year-old's birthday party. Right. Sometimes they end up the same way. Right. And people are crying, but we leave with the money quickly. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah. So, we have shows all over. Yeah. And you can find info about that on landonharvey.com. Yes. And, that's what we do. And when we're not doing shows, we're making online content and interacting with our virtual audience. Right. It's great.
Wonderful. Now, do you, now we see that you are in Texas. Do you like sports down there, or do you just TV? What's for fun in Texas?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we love football. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys, right? Yes, we have their practice stadium in Frisco, right? Which I don't think it's used often because it's the Cowboys. All right. Hey, but it's got a movie theater in there, so they probably use that a lot, right? Yeah. But we have fun. We like our sports and our country music, right? And we got Houston, so that's something. And got the Astros, yeah. And that's about it. Yeah.
Wonderful, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the People's Podcast. It was amazing to meet you. Now I look forward to meeting your friend.
Oh, thanks. This was great. I'm pumped. Yeah. Can't wait to see myself on YouTube. Me too. Yeah.
Same here. Well, it's nice meeting you, sir.
All right. Take care. I go now? Yeah. Awkwardly exit. Escalator. All right, great. There you go. Perfect. Oh. So that's an exit. So
Okay.
And he's a handful.
Okay. Now, what about your other friend?
Okay, so this is a character I'm working on. I introduced the puppet when I began TikTok, probably a couple months in, but I've since rebuilt the puppet, and she is still well underway. In terms of her character, but I thought I'd bring her out here because it's something fun and different. So this is Patty. She frequents the local retirement home here in Texas. Shady folks. We've got a lot of sketchy people there, so she's one of them. Let me get her out. Miss Patty. What, hon? Come here. My gosh, I almost. Oh, hello. Odd and distinguished young gentleman. Is he gonna give me my sponge bath? No, he's here to interview you. Oh, all right. Well, that's fun. Yeah, have a seat. I've got one leg. Okay, it's right here. She's got one leg and I'll let him touch my patch if he's lucky. Your eye patch. Yes. Okay. Sit back.
Okay. And I want to read to you, Miss Patty, some of the comments people are saying. This is amazing. Peace is saying, this is awesome. Okay. Well, what is it? what is it like to be at the retirement home?
Oh, it's great. I am one of the livelier people there. Right. Yes. And we do bingo. We fight over pudding cups. And
Hmm.
I think like the grandkids that we have the grandkids event right, every Tuesday. That's great. Yeah. And I make them go and fetch me food. Oh, yeah, it's great. Okay. I enjoy it. Right. It keeps them trim. Some of them are porkers. They get fat. Right. It's all the
Ex-
virtual stuff nowadays. We didn't have that when I was growing. No, no, you couldn't plug it in. No, no.
well, what do you do for fun?
What?
What do you do for fun?
Oh, yeah, I do a lot of things for fun. I forgot the last man's name. Why don't you talk about stuff like bingo? What? Bingo. I love bingo. Yes, I like it when they color my squares, right? And
Hmm.
I flirt with the bingo guy. Sometimes he
Okay.
lets me win. That's great. What do you want if you win bingo? I get a rice pudding cup. That's great. Yeah. So he let me have the pudding cup and I let him in mine. Okay. Yeah. So that's got a lot of gray hairs. Yeah, I got something like pudding cup too. All right. Well, that's great. She's one of the raunchier characters. I'm older. Lot more when you're older. Joshua. His last name's Muhammad.
Yes.
That's not sus. You get checked at the airports, fella. Hey, you can't ask that. Yeah, I'm making conversation. I'm a friendly person. I'm sure you are. People love me.
Yes. I'm pretty good when I go to the
Where do
airport.
you live, Muhammad? His name's Joshua.
Yeah.
That's his last name. Joshua, where are you from?
I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta.
And I used to date a man in Atlanta.
Okay. And how was that?
It was great. Looking forward to it again, Joshua. All right, very funny. You like pudding cups? Okay. Right. Have you had your pills yet? Not yet. No, no. Sometimes I suck on them. Okay, I'm gonna sit you down here. Okay. I haven't gotten my nap yet. You want to join me? All right. Have a seat. I don't. Oh. So that's Patty. She's more the raunch, probably the raunchiest character that I have. But I really wanted an old lady that was out there, and I have this old man puppet, and she kind of started within a joke. He looked at me and said, the lady at the senior home with the eye patch and the one leg. Sometimes they call her Pirate Patty. And I thought, how funny would it be to take that joke and create a puppet around it? And then I did, and I've introduced her to my TikTok, and people have seen her kind of evolve through it. So we've had a lot of fun, and we always enjoy the live streams because it's a great time it's the only time I really practice, actually, but we just do like improv for like an hour with the puppets, and we interact with the comments and stuff. And sometimes I'll get like a joke out of it that's actually really good, and it reflects the character, and I'll end up writing it down and using it in an actual show. So it's
That's
great.
amazing. Where can we? What's the TikTok so we can follow you on TikTok?
So my TikTok is Landon Venting. It's Venting because I'm a ventriloquist. When you abbreviate it, it's vent, but then in comedy, you vent. You tell people your problems. So it's a kind of a little play on words there. It's Landon Venting, and that's my username for all the social media. So if you find me there, you can find me everywhere else. We've got over 1 million on TikTok, and we're still growing. And once we hit 1.5 million, I release another character because I build these guys in my garage and these gals. So we always have fun kind of coming up with new personas, and it's always neat to introduce a new one to the audience.
I'm telling you, this is amazing. On behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, thank you, man. This is so cool that you're creative and you're spreading
Oh, of
joy
course.
and positivity across the social media. Man, that's amazing.
I really love it. COVID's been a weird time for all of us, but it's really made me double down on all my online content and write a lot more, and it's strengthened a lot of different performing aspects that are necessary to stage performance that I haven't been able to do because of the pandemic and the lockdown and everything. So it's been a real treat to be able to bring laughter and smiles to people through this time.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the People's Podcast. Thank everybody who's watching. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. Your characters are phenomenal.
Oh,
Man,
thanks.
that the fact that you're witty like that off the top of your head, that's very cool. Well, I look forward to staying connected with you and following you on social media so that we can continue to support. Man, Mr. Landon, the ventriloquist, phenomenal job. Thank you everybody for watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Have a great day.
All right, thanks. Bye, guys.